Hey everyone, Jason here, digital marketing consultant, and in this Mailerlite guide, you're going to learn everything you need to know to get your email list growth going using Mailerlite. So we're going to be going through how to create your landing page or squeeze page, all the way through email automations and general broadcasts. So make sure you check out that detailed timestamp table of contents in the description if you're looking for a specific part of setting up in Mailerlite, as well as some other helpful links to copywriting for your emails and of course your landing pages as well. So with that, let's go ahead and jump right in here. So here's a little diagram of what we're going to be building inside of Mailerlite today. If this looks overwhelming, that's okay, because we are going to go through every single step by click, and by the end of this tutorial video, this is going to be an absolute breeze, especially because Mailerlite makes this so simple to do. So before we jump into actually creating our squeeze page or landing page and then setting up those automations, we first need to talk about how we're actually going to attract people to your list in the first place. And this is going to be done through something called a lead magnet. Now, if you don't know what a lead magnet is, or you don't have an idea, I'll link up in the cards and the description to a full-blown video that walks through some awesome lead magnet ideas you can put together in less than a day. So it doesn't have to be something crazy like a full-blown webinar or hour-long training, right? It can be something as simple as a PDF guide, diagram, or some sort of spreadsheet. I'll link up in the cards in the description to that video. So here, we're actually going to start with our landing page, where we make the offer of the lead magnet in exchange for that contact information. And this first part of the diagram is how we're going to grow our email list. So this is how we're going to get people to actually provide their emails in the first place. So this is the landing page that we're going to be building here in a little bit. As you can see, nothing's super fancy. The good news is you don't have to be fancy, and Mailerlite makes it an absolute breeze to put this together. So let's build our landing page and set up our automations. So once you're inside of your Mailerlite account, you're going to go ahead and navigate to Sites and then click on Create Landing Page. Go ahead and give your landing page a name. This is something that should be descriptive and really clear as to what the landing page is for. This is not going to be seen by anybody else other than you and your team. So I'll go ahead and click on Save, and then you have the option of selecting where you want people to be added to, what groups you want people to be added to once they've entered their name and email on your squeeze page or landing page. In this particular instance, I like setting up a separate group for each one of our lead magnets or landing pages. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Create and Add New Group, and I'm going to name it the exact same thing I named my landing page. And this way, it's really easy to know what landing page, group, and then automation are supposed to be connected to each other. So just using the same name will really save you a lot of headache and trying to remember, wait, which group does which landing page? It can get messy pretty quick. So I'll go ahead and name it the same thing. Something that is a little annoying though is you do need to scroll down and make sure that you select the new group you created. So I'm going to go ahead and select the new group that I created, and we're going to go back over to our diagram here. Just keep this in the back of your mind. We've just created our first rule. So we're saying anytime someone enters their name and email on our landing page, or just their email, they're going to be added to this group. It's not going to be super important, but when we get to automations after we build our page, just keep that in the back of your head. So let's go ahead and click on Save and Continue, and then we get to choose one of our templates here. So Mailerlite has a great deal of templates you can choose from. If you're one of those people who really likes playing with web pages, then go through all of these templates. You can preview them and then choose one that you want to play around with. Personally, I just like getting it done quick and dirty, so I'm going to go ahead and choose the first one, and I'm going to show you a format that we've been using, and it gets anywhere from 20 to 40% conversion rates. So you definitely don't have to be a design expert to make these landing pages work. So we'll go ahead and select that. It'll take quite a while to load, but once it does, you'll have your landing page here. You can scroll up and down and see the different elements, and you can either start messing with this particular template and changing things the way you want, or you can follow my advice and just wipe the whole thing. So we're going to click on Actions in the top, and then click on Remove Content Blocks. I'm going to type in Remove because they really want to make sure you want to delete everything. So yes, scorched earth policy. Let's go ahead and remove. And then we're going to add a couple of elements. So all we need is we're going to click and drag over a headline. Then we're going to use some text. We're going to click on Forms and use the first form, and then we'll add some more text. And as simple as it sounds, these are all the elements we need for our squeeze page here. Now, if you're interested in being a little more advanced with your page here and you want to make a landing page, have some bullet points, and maybe do some advanced conversion things, I'll link up in the cards in the description to another video that walks you through copywriting for landing pages. Here, we're going to be quick and dirty and just start growing our email list as quickly as possible. So the first first thing you want to do is come over here to settings, and you're going to be able to make some global page changes. So instead of changing the font and the sizes on each individual element, we can just do it here really quickly. So I'm only going to go through 2 because I'll let you click through. I don't want this to become like an hour-long tutorial of every little detail you could change here. So you can be as OCD as you want. But first thing I would recommend doing is changing the font. I like fonts that are clean and easy to read. So I'm going to change all of the font to Open Sans. Then I'm going to come over here to the background and make all of the background white. So you'll notice that part of the page is a little gray. I don't really like that, so I'll go ahead and select white and then save. So now the background is all one color. And then I'm going to change my headings so that they are centered. So I'm going to center all of my headlines, and then I'm going to change the font color to blue so my headlines stand out. And then I'll go ahead and click save. The last change I'm going to do here is I'm going to come into the button, and I'm going to change the button text because I don't like red. Red normally means stop, and we want people to go, right? So green means go, red means stop. So we'll go ahead and change our button color to a different bright color. Let's try orange. So it stands out from the rest of the page. It's very clear where someone should click. And then we can actually come over here and change the font size. I always change the font size anywhere from 24 to 32 because that just makes the button bigger. So I want the button to be really big and clear where someone should click to opt in. And then we can click on hover over here and change the hover color. We don't want it to be the same color as the button, so we'll go ahead and change the hover we'll change the hover color to green because green means go, right? So our button is going to be orange, and then when someone hovers over it with their mouse, it will turn green. We'll go ahead and click on save, and that's all we need to do with our settings. Again, you can dive in here and play with everything as much as you want, but for time purposes, let's just go ahead and call it good for now, and we'll go ahead and start editing our form. Now for our squeeze page here, I'm actually going to remove the heading, and I'm going to remove the text, and I'm going to change subscribe to access now. So depending upon what you're offering, it can be access now, download now, register now, join now, whatever kind of makes sense, or get started now, whatever makes sense for whatever you're offering. Access now is pretty generic and works for just about anything, right? So we'll go ahead and leave it at access now, and then I'll come over to the form settings, and I'm going to add a field, name field. And I like adding the name field here because if we go back, you'll see that inside of Mailerlite, you can't actually move just the email and just the button underneath each other. That was a really silly way to do it, right? So I like to add the name field so that it's stacked. I think it looks a lot cleaner, and Mailerlite does allow you to dynamically insert your subscriber's name. So if you wanted to use a subscriber's name in the emails that you're sending or in the subject lines, you definitely want to make sure that you're asking for their name here. So I'm just going to swap them so the name is on top, and that's all we need to do with our contact form here. So the next thing I'm going to do is, of course, add some sort of picture that represents what people are getting. So this is probably the one place where you do want to spend quite a bit of time making sure that you have some sort of graphical representation of what is being offered. So I'm just going to go in here and I'll select one of the images that our graphic designers already put together. So here we go. There's just a picture of what people get if they decide to click the Access Now button. And that's all you need to do for your form itself. Now the next part is going to be the boring part, and this is where you need some legal disclaimers. Now this is in no way, shape, or form legal or financial advice, but for most of the platforms out there, like Facebook and Google, you need to have some sort of privacy policy, terms of service, and sometimes an earnings disclaimer. So I'm going to leave that up to you. The only thing I will say here is please don't copy other sites' terms of service or privacy policies and disclaimers. That is copyright infringement, and lawyers will come after you. So please get your own. There are plenty of services like LegalZoom that will give you some for less than a couple $100. Now moving on to more exciting things, let's go ahead and create a subheadline. So here, I like using the subheadline a lot. Get the free blueprint so you can make 2020 or 20 whatever year it is your breakout year. Now I will come over to settings, and I'm going to change the font size up to 24, and then I'm going to take this padding down to 0 so it's nice and big and there's not so much blank white space at the top of the page. And then I'll go ahead and go over to the headline, and I'll paste in the headline here. Again, if you want some insights on how to actually do copywriting for this page, I'll link up in the cards in the description to a video that takes a super deep dive, plenty of headline formulas. And with that, our landing page is ready to go. So we can just go ahead and click on save and update. Again, this might seem super basic, but that's okay. Pages like this do in fact work. You can always get more advanced later, right? So let's go ahead, save. It'll take a little bit of time to load here. And then the only other things with your page settings here is if you do decide to upgrade to a paid version of Mailerlite, there is an affiliate link in the description that if you do decide to upgrade your account, we do receive a small commission as a way to support this channel. You can go ahead and actually use your own domain here. And then you can also make sure that you want to update your favicon. So this is that little image that shows up in a browser tab, and they give you dimensions on what your favicon should be here. Now, scrolling down, if you have any sort of tracking or analytics, you can go ahead and put this in. Social shares and SEO, this really is not important for a landing page. You're pretty much always gonna have to drive traffic to there anyway, so don't really waste your time on these, only the tracking code and custom scripts. So we'll go ahead and click on save, and then we can copy the URL and open up a new browser tab, and we can see our completed landing page here. And if you're looking at this page thinking it's way too simple to work, just remember you can always add more. You now know everything you need to know in order to build any type of landing page that you want with Mailerlite. So let's go ahead and go back to our diagram here because we completed the first part. We have our landing page done and we have our first rule set up. So now it's time for the email automation side of Mailerlite. And to do that, we'll jump back into the Mailerlite interface and we'll go over to automation. So inside of automations, you can always edit automations and copy and duplicate and update and all that fun stuff. Well, copy, duplicate, it's the same thing. Okay, I'm talking over myself. Let's just go ahead and click on create workflow. We'll give our workflow a name and I'm going to call it the exact same thing I named the landing page and the exact same thing I named the group. So that way the landing page, the group, and the automation are all named the same thing, and I will never have to worry about forgetting what goes where or what's connected to what. So here we're going to select our trigger, and this is going to tell Mailerlite when to start this automation. So this automation will start when a subscriber joins a group. Which group? The group we specified for our landing page, which will be B108 email marketing strategy. So now anytime someone joins that group, this automation will start. And of course, the first thing we need to do is give our new email subscribers the lead magnet that we promised them on the landing page. So we'll go ahead and click the plus button here and we will click create an email. We want this to go out immediately. So as quickly as possible, no delays. We really want to give people what they opted in for. So we'll go ahead and click on add an email. We can add a subject line. You can also click design email, and I highly recommend it. They do have some great looking templates, but if you are not an e-commerce company, then I highly recommend just using the rich plain text editor, and text emails perform fantastically for 9 out of 10 businesses. Really, with our email marketing, the only time we even recommend not using plain text emails when it comes to e-commerce. After that, you really should be using plain text emails. That side of things is pretty self-explanatory, so I'm going to focus here on the automations and rules. I'll go ahead and click on save. You can always go back and change your emails. So now we have the trigger, and then we have our action email that's being sent immediately after someone enters their name and email on our page. So that's the segmentation part of our funnel. So now what we want to talk about is what comes after the segmentation. So typically you're going to want to send anywhere from another 4 to 6 emails, and this is where you're going to be building rapport. Again, I'll link up in the cards in the description to a video that walks through exactly how to write these emails, but you're just going to want to build rapport and then eventually make some sort of pitch for a paid product or service or some pitch for an affiliate offer. So we'll go back in here to Mailerlite and go ahead and click on the plus button, but this time we're going to create a delay because after all, we don't want all our emails to go out at the same time, right? So we'll go ahead and click on set a delay. We'll just wait 1 day, save, and so now we have our first step in our rapport building sequence where we're going to wait a day for them to enjoy whatever the lead magnet was, and then we're going to go ahead and click the plus button again and create an email. Just go ahead and type in a subject line. That's all you need to save the automation. So we'll go ahead and just add in a random subject line, click on save, and now we have our delay, and our email. Now what you want to do is go ahead and do this process at least 4 or 5 more times. So you're gonna delay, email, delay, email, delay, email. I've already lost count, right? So do that so you have a total of 5 to 7 emails in this sequence. And then once you've done that, you're ready to take all of these people who've gone through the sequence, whether or not they've purchased your product, service, or whatever you were promoting, and put them into your general broadcast list. So this is where we're going to move over to engagement. So we've gone through the first part of this process, which is they enter their name and email. We've immediately sent them off the lead magnet. They've gone through another 5 to 6 day sequence of emails that are building rapport and relationship building with them, and then making a pitch for a product or service. And now it's time to go back to content and value, because after all, you definitely don't want to just bombard people with pitch after pitch, but we'll go through how to do promotions in the future. So we are complete with our lead generation funnel. So now it's time to move on to taking them out of this sequence and putting them onto your general broadcast list. So to do that, we'll plus button again, and this time we'll set a delay, and we'll set another delay for 1 day. So this makes sure that there is a buffer in between them finishing this sequence and any other sequence that they are added to. And you can add more days if you'd like. So we'll go ahead and click on save, and now we're going to click the plus button again for one last time, and we're going to click action this time. So here, what we're going to say is we're going to tell Mailerlite, once they've gone through all of this, we want to copy them over to another group. So we'll go ahead and select copy to group, and then we'll go ahead and select our group. So here you can either create a new group if you don't already have one, or you want to copy them to the group that represents everyone on your email list. So the group we have right now is only for people who enter their name and email to get that one specific offer. Whereas here, we want to copy them to an email group that is everyone on your email list, right? So this is going to be the group that receives the general broadcast that you send out a couple of times a week, or once a week, right? Whatever you decide to do. So here, one Aspire Entrepreneur, that's our catch-all group for everyone who's not already in another sequence. So we'll go ahead and select that, and we'll click on save. Now, the reason that you want to copy is you want to keep track of everyone who's already gone through this sequence, because in the future, as you start growing your email list more, you'll actually start to be able to see which offers and landing pages and groups of people are more responsive to your emails in the future. So you definitely don't want to move them, because you want to keep that data. You want everyone to stay in this particular group that you've created. So if you're confused at all about anything we've gone through so far, make sure you drop a comment in the comment section below. I do still read and reply to every single one. I really want to make sure that you are up and running and good to go with Mailerlite, because this is such a simple yet powerful strategy for your business. Now, what you're looking at here, we are good to go. So if we go back over to our diagram, you'll see we've already gone through the lead generation process, and now we've dropped people in with that last automation into our broadcast list, where we're sending anywhere from 2 to 5 emails a week. This is just going to depend upon your niche and industry. I wish I could give you a hard and fast rule, but there really isn't one. Now, when it comes to the next step, promotion, you want to make sure that as you're sending out your broadcasts, if you have a product or a service, or you're doing some sort of other promotion, you want to make sure that you go at least 4 to 5 emails of value, content, and rapport building before you make a pitch. So pretty much it comes down to almost every other week, you can make some sort of pitch. But you just want to make sure that you are in fact providing value to your email subscribers. Don't view your list as just another medium where you can just pitch products all day long, because nobody wants to stay on an email list where all that happens to them is stuff is trying to be sold to them. There was definitely a better way to say that, a more elegant way to say that. So once you've got this down, there is one other thing that you want to do before we get into the fun part, which is repeat, and that is scrubbing your list. So every 30 to 90 days, you want to go through Mailerlite and look for, and you can do this inside of your subscribers, and segment people out who have not been opening your emails. You can send them a series, you can manually put them into a automation that re-engages with them. So 3 to 4 emails saying, hey, I noticed you haven't opened. Are you still interested? If you don't, we'll just take you off the list. And then if they've gone 90 days without opening any emails and they don't respond to your re-engagement emails, then take them off your list because those people who are not opening your emails are just going to hurt your overall performance. Plus, it makes no sense to be paying for email subscribers who aren't actually opening or engaging with your emails anyway. So with that, we're ready for the final step. I hope you're excited here, and that is repeat. You just hit the giant repeat button on everything we just did. So our diagram goes from just one lead generation funnel to multiple. So you repeat this front-end process over and over again, creating multiple rapport sequences, multiple lead magnets, and multiple landing pages, because at the end of the day, it's all about testing and figuring out what your audience or potential customers actually care most about. We actually have right now, I think we have 7 or 8 different landing pages with 7 or 8 different offers. And so this is how you really begin to test your market and figure out what's going to work the best. And of course, at the end of the day, they all drop into your back-end broadcast sequence and your promotion email. So hopefully this diagram that you're looking at now looks a lot less daunting and you have a much better picture on how you can use Mailerlite and this email marketing strategy to really grow your email list and of course, eventually sell your products and services. So thank you so much for watching. Sincerely hope you got some value out of this video. And most importantly, you're a lot more confident with this whole email marketing thing. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dive marketing strategy videos just like this one. And check out the affiliate link to Mailerlite if you haven't already signed up. And until the next, keep building the business you love.